It's often said those least responsible for climate change will suffer the most because of it. This is especially true in Niger. According to non-profits such as Concern International, Niger, along with its Sahelian neighbours, is likely to see a 3 to 6 degrees Celsius increase in temperatures by the end of the century, with devastating impacts for one of the poorest and most difficult to farm regions on Earth. Yet in 2021, Niger produced just 0.007% of global emissions. The changing climate is also adding to a rise in militant groups linked to Al-Qaeda and Islamic State, according to the UN.
Climate change is contributing to the deterioration of natural resources, with population competing then for the safe natural resources that are shrinking. So there is a direct relation between climate change and security.
To help countries like Niger, a loss and damage fund was agreed upon at the UN's recent COP27 climate conference in Egypt. In theory, richer countries and bigger emitters of greenhouse gases will pay to assist the countries suffering from climate change the most. Non-profits say the cost of the damage caused by climate change could hit $1.8 trillion by 2050. Niger's Environment Minister told VOA the fund needs to become operational quickly.
There
is an urgency to make the funds operational. Not only making the funds operational, but also the urgency to make the funds available through an easy funding mechanism that favors countries such as Niger.
Hawa Koba Magade lives in a village in Niger's border region with Nigeria, an area that could benefit from the fund. A project run by the UN's World Food Programme has reorganised the village's farming practices, allowing them to farm during the dry season in addition to the rainy season.
Food production has increased. The older and younger generations of the village no longer have to go elsewhere to find work since we can farm twice a year. It's an improvement because there is now not only enough food to survive, but also enough to sell.
In a neighbouring village where there is no assistance, a farmer says they do not have enough to eat. Environmentalists say that details such as how the fund will work and how the money will make it to villages like those in Zinder need to be nailed down.
The political pitfalls are developing states just decide not to pay. And it's hard when you want to get governments to write that check. It's difficult to get them to do it, particularly in the economic climate that we face globally now.
The United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change declined to give an interview on how the fund might work and how long it may take to become active. Henry Wilkins for VOA News, Zinder, Niger.